Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathannitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhannitam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare.
sing and do both together?
It's okay. Nice plan.
Oh, you don't want to sing? Sing, ever let.
I don't know what to sing.
Namo Vishnu Padaswati Hare Krishna directly.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Today we'll be discussing Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3, text 42. Please repeat. Indriyani paranyahur indriyebhyah param manaha manasastu para buddhir yo buddhe paratastu saha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. The working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind, and he, the soul, is even higher than the intelligence. Please repeat. The working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind, and he, the soul, is even higher than the intelligence. Purport. The senses are different outlets for the activities of lust. Lust is reserved within the body, but it is given vent through the senses. Therefore, the senses are superior to the body as a whole. These senses are not in use when there is superior consciousness or Krishna consciousness. In Krishna consciousness, the soul makes direct connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the bodily functions, as described here, ultimately end in the Supreme Soul. Bodily action means the functions of the senses, and stopping the senses means stopping all bodily actions. But since the mind is active, then even though the body may be silent and at rest, the mind will act, as it does during dreaming. But above the mind, there is the determination of the intelligence, and above the intelligence is the soul proper. If therefore the soul is directly engaged with the Supreme, naturally all the other subordinates, namely the intelligence, mind, and the senses, will be automatically engaged. In the Katha Upanishad, there is a passage in which it is said that the objects of sense gratification are superior to the senses, and mind is superior to the sense objects. If therefore the mind is directly engaged in the service of the Lord constantly, then there is no chance of the senses becoming engaged in other ways. This mental attitude has already been explained. If the mind is engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord, there is no chance of its being engaged in the lower propensities. In the Katha Upanishad, the soul has been described as Mahan, the great. Therefore, the soul is above all, namely the sense objects, the senses, the mind, and the intelligence. Therefore, directly understanding the constitutional position of the soul is the solution of the whole problem. With intelligence, one has to seek out the constitutional position of the soul and then engage the mind always in Krishna consciousness. That solves the whole problem. A neophyte spiritualist is generally advised to keep aloof from the objects of senses. One has to strengthen the mind by use of intelligence. If by intelligence one engages one's mind in Krishna consciousness by complete surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then automatically the mind becomes stronger. And even though the senses are very strong, like serpents, they will be no more effective than the serpents with broken fangs. But even though the soul is the master of intelligence and mind, and the senses also, still, unless it is strengthened by the association with Krishna in Krishna consciousness, there is every chance of falling down due to the agitated mind. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Srila Prabhupada. So the verse talks about the hierarchy within our body. Indriyani paranyahur indriyebhyah param manaha manasastu parabuddhir yobuddhe paratastu saha. So now to depict this hierarchy, I'll show you a picture you can see on the screen. So some of you might have seen this picture. Now I will ask some questions. Obviously it's a chariot being drawn by the horses. So what do these horses denote in this picture? If we compare this whole chariot to that of this body, there is a big hint also in this Indriyas, Karmendriyas, Indriyas. Actually Gnanendriyas, but anyway. So Indriyas. Indriyas means what? Senses. You see the senses are also depicted on each of these horses. Each horse denotes one sense. Like here you see the eyes are depicted here on the first horse. The nose are depicted in the second horse. The ears, the touch sensation and the tongue. So these 5 horses represent the 5 senses. Now the senses are considered Indriyani Paraniyahuhu. It's considered superior to the dull matter. Why? So we have these 5 senses. Bhagavad Gita is saying that these 5 senses are superior to this body. Why? Why the senses are superior? Because, just for example, imagine there is a water tank. A water tank has water. But water has its use only when there are outlets to the water tank. Otherwise, it's just useless, isn't it? So these senses are like the outlets to the body. Through the senses, the body acts and achieves its purpose. So that's why the senses are considered superior to dull matter. Indriyani paranyahuhu. Now, superior to the senses. What is superior? What is that superior to these horses here in this diagram? True, but what does mind? He is saying mind is higher than the senses. Indriyabhyaha param manaha. But what does mind refer to here? The one who is controlling the horses. How many agree? The one who is controlling the horses. He is superior to the mind. The answer is incorrect. You're right, but there is one more layer. Huh? The mind is correct. The mind is the correct answer. Mind is superior to the senses. But what does mind translate to in this particular picture? She said the driver, which is incorrect. The reins, the ropes that are controlling the horses, that denotes the mind. The mind is directly controlling the senses, or these reins are controlling these horses. So, indriyabhyaha param manaha. And manasastu para, what is higher than the mind? Huh? Intelligence. Manasastu para buddhihi. So, what does buddhi refer to in this picture? Yes, now comes the answer. The driver or the saradi, the chariot driver. He is the intelligence which controls the reins, and the reins are directing these horses. And now, yo buddhe paratastu saha. He is higher than the intelligence. What is that he? The soul is higher than the intelligence. And who is the soul? Yes, the passenger is the soul. You see, we are like, our body is like the chariot. We are seated on this chariot. We are being driven by these horses. But the funny thing is that we don't realize, for most of us, these horses are being driven by the mind, and the intelligence is very weak, and the horses are going everywhere. Just imagine you set out in your car, and let's say auto drive. You want to go to some destination, but the car is taking to opposite, completely opposite, and you don't have a control over it. Just imagine how funny, how dangerous it is. But exactly what is happening to all of us. We are going along with the dictation of the senses, and we don't have a control. Like this is the hierarchy that we discussed. The soul must control the intelligence, which must control the mind, which must control the senses, and then which controls this body. So, sorry for the wrong font, but I'll read it out. This is a Bhagavatam shloka where Prahlad Maharaj, a small boy, 5-year-old boy who has realized this, he is explaining this predicament. What happens if this hierarchy is gone wrong? So he says, my position is like that of a person who has many wives, all trying to attract him in their own way. All these wives are trying to attract him, just like the senses are all trying to pull this chariot in their own direction. For example, the tongue is attracted to palatable dishes, the genitals to sex with an attractive woman, and the sense of touch to contact with soft things. The belly, although filled, still wants to eat more, and the ear, not attempting to hear about you, my Lord, is generally attracted to cinema songs. The sense of smell is attracted to yet another side. The restless eyes are attracted to scenes of sense gratification, and the active senses are attracted to elsewhere. In this way, I am constantly embarrassed. See, if the senses are allowed to go everywhere, what will happen? We are constantly embarrassed. So one may ask the question, what is wrong in chasing sense gratification or letting the senses go wherever they want, wherever they lead? After all, the senses are given to us. So what is wrong in chasing sense gratification? Huh? So there was this couple who were happily driving, going somewhere. So suddenly, from behind, there was one guy who was driving so fast, and he somehow swerved his way and crossed this car, and he started to do like this and went in front and started to drive even faster, crossing them. And the woman was looking at him in amazement. Oh my God, look at his car. Look at the car type, and look at this guy, how fast he is going. And this husband became concerned. He thought this wife is becoming more impressed with him. And so let me show what I am made of. And then he started to drive faster. Faster, faster, faster. But he couldn't overtake him. But he was fully resolved to drive even faster. So after a long time, somehow he was able to manage, and he was able to get closer to that guy, and eventually, barely he managed to cross. And then he started to do like this. And then he went in front and started to drive even faster, managed to get sizable distance between these two cars. And then his ego was satisfied. And then he turned to his wife and said, now tell me, who is the winner? Is he the winner? I am the winner. And then the wife said, you are both the winner and the loser. And then he was shocked. Why am I both the winner and loser? Yes, you are the winner because you won against him in the race of speed. You went past him. But you are loser because the exit that we wanted to go was 20 miles behind. He completely lost track of where he wanted to go in that fit of rage. He went after his desired goal, but he lost sight of what he has to achieve. So if you are allured by the sense gratification, yes, you may achieve your whatever you wanted to achieve for satisfying your senses. But by dint of that, you lose focus on actual what you need to achieve. Like somebody cuts you in the driving, and then he's hurled abuse at you, and then you go after him, but there is an important meeting that you need to attend. So who is the loser? You are the loser. So senses make like that, give like that. So if you see this picture again, I want somebody to go through this picture and explain what it is denoting. This guy is stuck somewhere and it's cold. He is in a ditch. It's cold. He also has matchsticks and he has ladder to escape from the ditch. Who can explain this? Anyone? Huh. Correct. Yes. If he is more thoughtful about long-term happiness, which he needs to get out of this ditch to survive his life, he should use that ladder to first get out. But instead, what he's thinking, oh, this is cold here, let me solve my immediate cold problem. So he's breaking these ladder steps and burning them for warmth. So don't burn your opportunity for a temporary pleasure. So if you get carried away by the senses, this is what happens. You lose the actual, real opportunity of the human life to get out of this human life, use this human life to get out of this material world. The senses are given. Sometimes people ask, why this? If we are not meant for enjoyment, why God has given us senses? I've been given my tongue, eyes, everything, all the senses. After all, they are meant for enjoyment. Otherwise, why would the senses be given? What is the answer to that question? Then why are we saying you have to control your senses? Difference between animal and a human being. Very good answer. Like, for example, you give a small child, a toddler, $100 bill. Will the toddler understand anything about that currency? He cannot. He can tear it, he can make it a rocket, he can throw it around. But you can make it a rocket also, isn't it? It's like an ordinary piece of paper. But an adult sees the same paper. It's an ordinary paper, but he knows the value of it. He can use it to invest somewhere, buy something valuable, get something what he wants. So this is the difference between the human life and animal life. Human life is that valuable currency where you can use it to cross this, to get onto this ladder. If you use it like a paper, again abuse the senses for animalistic sense gratification, you're losing that great opportunity. Again, you will go down to a lower species and you have to gradually come up to gain that human life. Because human life is very, very rare. It is obtained after 8,400,000 species. So, if you go after sense gratification, this is what happens. In general, the top is our plan. But what is Maya's plan? We all are familiar with this. We set out to do something. We think the road is very straight. The actual thing is, it's not so straight. So, let's say a man goes to a bar. So you see this man, he went to this bar. He's asking for whatever he wants. All these varieties of drinks that are available. So this man is like compared to a mind. Our mind, when it is after sense gratification, it wants to enjoy all varieties of senses which are bad. All varieties of sense gratification which are bad. Now, this man who is asking for this drink, who is supplying the drink? Who is supplying the drink? The bartender, right? The bartender is supplying the drink. So, the mind can be, if the mind is a compulsive drinker, the intelligence does not have to be or should not be the bartender. Usually, our mind is like this compulsive drunkard, but our intelligence is like a bartender. He keeps supplying whatever the mind asks. Whereas, he should be like a counselor. If the mind asks something bad for our spiritual progress, he should counsel, no, it is not good for you. Instead of being like a bartender, you should be like The counselor, no, this is not good for you. But the mind is so strong that it overpowers even the intelligence. But the intelligence has to become strong. Just like Prabhupada gives this example. Drink more and you become a drunkard. Similarly, chant more and become a perfect chanter. What is a chant? What is a chant? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So if you chant, your intelligence is becoming stronger. So that intelligence you see here in this picture, again, going back to that original picture that I showed. If the reins become weak, right? If the person who is holding these reins is weak, is not holding it strong, the horses can go wherever they want. But if the man, by proper training, if the chariot driver, by proper training, can hold these reins properly, tightly, and the way that he wants, wherever he wants them to go, then the horses have to follow, isn't it? So by chanting the holy name of Krishna, by reading Bhagavad Gita's messages, by reading the scriptures, this man, this chariot driver is getting strong, is getting the direction how to hold these reins so that this is properly followed. So like how here Krishna, see how expertly Krishna is holding these reins. How expertly Arjuna is about to shoot the arrows. So similarly, we need to become expert at holding these reins, driven by the knowledge given by Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna's knowledge is available for everyone. We should make our intelligence hold these reins just like Krishna is holding these reins. We should have our intelligence directed by Krishna. Then we'll go to the right destination that we want. So we are all usually, we want detoxification, right? We follow detox of our food. Whatever we are eating, we want to detox. But what about other things? What about the soft detox through the cell phone, through what we see every day, through what we talk, what we hear, what we interact, social media addiction? This is all great toxin, isn't it? All these toxins are going, but nobody wants to detox them. We want to keep only our body healthy, but body's health follows mental health. If we are constantly taking in all these toxins, then how are we getting detox? So Bhagavad Gita, what it does? It detoxes our infection. So if we are walking, all these people are walking, you see. But when they walk through the guide of Bhagavad Gita, how they are ending up coming out? So we are all usually addicted to sinful habits. And we are all like these people going everywhere without proper direction. But if we take the direction of Bhagavad Gita, we come out at the other end fully clean. Cheto darpanamarjanam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. This, our mind is like a dirty mirror. And bhavamaha davagni nirvapanam, it is like compared to, our existence is compared to like a forest fire. We are in the forest fire. So how do we get out of this forest fire? By sending a fire engine? No, only God has to stop the forest fire by rains. Only when the clouds open up, when there is rain, there is chance for stopping the forest fire. Ordinary fire truck, how much can it stop? So only God's instructions or Bhagavad Gita, chanting, only it will help. So this body, You see this picture here. The boat or the ship on the ocean. So this material existence is compared to like this huge ocean with all its waves and dangerous creatures. And it is said that we are in this material existence, we are like the ship. Our human body is like the ship. Nrudeha madhyam sulabham sudurlabham. This Nrudeha means the human body is obtained after a long time. Sudurlabham. Just like the ship. It can carry us across the ocean. So the human body is like the ship. Plavam sukalpam. It's like the ship which is able to cross this ocean of existence. And the Guru Karnadharam. Who is riding this ship? Of course, the captain is driving this ship. The captain is compared to who? When we get this human body, we should select our captain. Who is the captain? Huh? Guru, yes. Guru Karnadharam. The captain of our ship of human life should be the Guru, the spiritual master. Mayanukulena nabhasvateritam. And for the ship, there has to be favorable. Something has to be favorable. And it starts with W, that word. Weather. Weather is definitely, winds, yes. Yes. Mayanukulena nabhasvateritam. The favorable winds are these instructions in the scriptures. So we got this human body, which is very nice ship to cross the existence. And then we have to take the right captain who can steer the body, this ship, which is the spiritual master. And then the winds, the favorable winds are these scriptural instructions. Puman bhavabdhim nataret sa atmaha. Even though one has the ability to do all these things, one has the ability to choose the spiritual master, to follow the instructions of the scriptures. He's got the human body, intelligence. But still, if he does not make use of that opportunity, then he is considered to be Atmaha. He is considered to be committing suicide. He is wasting that opportunity of human life. Now, Prabhupada in the purport also mentions about something. The senses are compared to what? In general, our senses are compared to one dangerous creature. Anybody? Any guesses? Huh? Snakes. Serpents. Why are the senses compared to like the serpents? Because, they keep wandering, yes, very good, very good. They are very poisonous. Like, one bite injects poison, very bad. Like Vishwamitra, what all tapasya he did, isn't it? But all he heard was the ankle bells of Menaka. And his hearing sensation was alerted, and that ignited the lust within, and it's like the poison, isn't it? And it broke his meditation for a very long time. So even though he is so powerful yogi, the senses were so strong. Yatatopiyahi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramatini haranti prasabham manaha. Even though one may be endeavoring so strong, but the senses are so strong and impetuous, O Arjuna, that by force it carries away a man's intelligence. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So even for a yogi it is very difficult. That is why Krishna prescribes not yoga, not gnana. How one can control the senses? By Krishna consciousness. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matparah vashehi yasyendriyani tasya prajna pratisthita. Vashehi, vasha means to control the senses. One can control the senses by the power of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is compared to like higher taste. Like, for example, you are used to eating some, when Prabhupada came to the West in 1965. He started to call all these Westerners, the hippies who were wandering on the parks, and he would give them nice feast with roti, sabji, dal, rice, gulab jamuns, rasgullas, and that too cooked by a pure devotee with pure ingredients offered to Krishna. And when they would taste that, they completely became mesmerized by the taste. They were used to eating all pale foods, dried foods, not proper foods in terms of taste and flavor. And once they got used to that higher taste, they never wanted to touch the lower taste. So when the mind is given the higher taste of Krishna, the lower taste cannot harm anymore. The same example, Vishwamitra getting diverted by Menaka, there is another great personality called Haridas Thakur. He was chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And he was tasting so much pleasure in chanting that there was this zamindar, landlord in that village. He schemed and sent a prostitute to deviate him from his vow, because he was very envious of the name that this Haridas Thakur was getting. So he, even though there was an attractive prostitute coming to deviate him, still, because he was getting so much taste in chanting the holy name, he did not fall trap for that prostitute. Instead, by his intelligence, he transformed that prostitute into devotee of Krishna. So this is called higher taste. Param drishtva nivartate. So even though the snakes, the serpent, the senses are like the snakes, for a person who is having taste of Krishna consciousness, they are like the snakes with, when is a snake no more dangerous? When is a snake no more dangerous? Anyone? Huh? Yes, when you take out the fangs, koralu they say in Telugu. When you take out those fangs, the snake is no more dangerous. Even if it bites, it does not cause any effect. So for a person who is taking the higher taste of Krishna consciousness, the senses are no more effective, just like the snakes are no more effective whose fangs are taken out. So the lesson from this verse is, cultivate the higher taste of Krishna consciousness. Strengthen your intelligence, thereby control the mind and control the senses. And when you develop that higher taste, the lower taste of sense gratification will no more have any effect on you. I'll stop here. Anyone has any questions or comments? Hare Krishna. So I'm told that there is a two performances planned at right now. So the children, they'll be doing some dancing on the stage. Hare Krishna. Ritwik, you have to take this. Hmm?
Take also that one.
Act nicely. Mataji. AVM and for
Yeah, we keep one.
where is the video announce? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Today our folk junior kids will be singing the famous Dasavatar Stotram composed by Srila Jayadeva Goswami. The Dashavara Stotra serves as a potent reminder of the divine nature of Lord Krishna's, his role as protector and preserver, and the significance of his incarnations.